Okay, today is my birthday. It's freaking 35 degree right now. My AC ain't working. It ain't working. And I don't have a fan, so you already know my situation right now. It's not going well. But I did buy myself a little gift today, you know? Little plant, little treat. My first one, because I feel like my home is a little bit lifeless. So I wanted to bring some green. To be honest, my preference would have been to buy a red maple tree, but apparently they don't go inside. I was considering buying it anyway, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to have the title of a murderer on purpose. Because if it's an accident, you don't know you buy it and then it dies, well, it was an accident. But when you know in advance, this is why they say ignorance is a bliss. So I bought a little green tree. Hopefully, I'll keep it alive long enough. It was pretty cheap. I'm surprised that it was as cheap as it was. I'm not going to say the price because I'm stingy. I'm a gatekeeper, so fuck it. Sorry. Beautiful tree, though. I'll plant it and show y'all the final result. Okay. Oh, see, boop.
So, after a little bit of an investigation and research, I've come to the conclusion that I've royally messed up. I did basically everything you're not supposed to do, and I may already have murdered my new roommate. Now, just to be clear, this wasn't intentional. I was genuinely excited about this plan. I had good intentions. But apparently, when you buy a new plant, you're not supposed to repot it right away. You're supposed to let it acclimate to its new habitat. Give it a little chance to settle in, and then you transition, which I did not do. And also, you're not supposed to water it right away. I drowned it. Anyways, the plant I got is called the Dracaena messengiana. Dracaena apparently means female dragon, which I did not expect, but I'm pleasantly surprised. As a proud Game of Thrones fan, yes, even after that ending, I said what I said. It's the journey that counts, not the destination. I think it's only appropriate to baptize her Khaleesi. Also, I may or I may not have gotten a little dragon tattoo behind my ear, so I'm gonna have to stay committed. Anywho, Khaleesi is strong, independent, low maintenance. Love this for myself. These dragon queens barely need any attention. They like indirect light and only need to be watered like once every 3 weeks, which is lovely. And in winter, when the air gets dry, they appreciate a little misting to keep their skin moisturized, I guess. That said, Khaleesi is a little bit picky. She does not like tap water. Something about the fluoride really pisses her off and turns the leaf brown. I found a bunch of Reddit threads explaining that I should use distilled water or rainwater. The fuck? I'm not about to start collecting rainwater. No. But my fridge does dispense filtered water, so that's great. Now, listen, I'm not about to turn this into a plant care monologue. Frankly, I'm not qualified for any of this. Like, I got the plant 2 days ago. Do not count on me for plant mom, plant dad advice. I am not the one. What am I here for, though? The lore, the myths, the legends. And this plant absolutely delivers. You know how I said Dracaena means female dragon, right? Yeah, let's talk about that because this is where things get weird in the best of ways. I thought I was buying a little tropical treat for my living room, but what I actually bought was a full fledged dragon in disguise. Now, apparently, in Greek mythology, there's this serpent like dragon with hundreds of heads named Ladon, a hydra dragon, who guarded a tree with golden apples of immortality, basically promising eternal youth and a big glow up, a true guardian of treasures. There's multiple versions, so don't quote me on that. But the one that I'm talking about, he gets slain by some guy with an arrow, and the blood that soaked the soil brought forth new life in the form of this plant, each one carrying a drop of the dragon's spirit. And now, there's one chilling in my living room. How cool is that? But it doesn't stop there. Some Dracaena species, not the exact one that I have, but her spicy cousins actually bleed this bright red resin when they get cut. And you'll never guess what it's called. Dragon's blood. How original. They use it in art, traditional medicine, and it's being studied for anti-tumor properties, collagen boosters, skincare. There's a whole bunch of use cases that I'm not going to get into. All this to say that this plant is out here doing everything. And different cultures have different origin stories. In another version, a dragon fights an elephant, and the blood from their epic battle falls to the earth and blooms into this plant. If we go to Africa, like sub-Saharan Africa, the Dracaena is a boundary marker. Land borders are sometimes drawn by planting rows of this thing. You plant it, it means this land is mine. Step across it, and you may just have forfeited your life. In some other traditions, they're also considered diplomatic peace offerings, a symbol of truce. Check it out yourself. If you offended somebody, like pissed them off real good, you go to one of those apology gifts website and you might actually find a Dracaena there. It's a real thing. And then there's the philosophy of Feng Shui, my personal favorite, because Khaleesi over there is considered perfect for the wealth corner of your home. In a lot of Asian markets, it's literally sold as this fortune plant. She represents growth, prosperity, longevity, happiness, and upward mobility. Which, by the way, makes a lot of sense because, coincidentally, I want to get rich. I even started practicing my rich nigga laugh. Thank you for noticing. But enough with legends and myths. What does science have to say about this is the ultimate question. What can it really do for me? Because I feel like a lot of us have heard this idea floating around that plants are supposed to purify the air. So I looked it up, and yeah, there was a NASA study from the 80s about this. They tested houseplants in these tiny sealed chambers and found that they could remove some toxins. Dracaena made the list. But here's the catch. Those were lab conditions, no airflow, no windows, no real life situations. Later studies were like, okay, cool, but like in a normal room, how does it pan out? Well, you'd need like hundreds of plants per square meter to even notice a difference. Again, I'm no plantologist, but apparently the plant is not here to filter my air. She's just standing there, looking hella majestic. But here's the thing, even after reading that, I didn't feel disappointed. Actually, I felt the opposite because by then I realized that yes, I will have to buy an air purifier at some point when I get money. But I didn't get this plant to purify the air. I got it because it looked good. I liked it. It zens out my place, calms me down, brings some color to my black walls, and it's a lucky plant. It's about the meaning. And there's something kind of profound about this. Now stay with me. Let me get that off. We don't just own things. We give meaning to them. We assign stories, beliefs, emotions, like this plant that stands for growth or peace or luck or money, whatever you want. That's called symbolic meaning making. When something becomes more than what it physically is, a fucking plant, because of what it represents to you. I mean, think about anything you own. I'm sure you at least got one thing that to your friends, your family, your partner, it's just a thing. But to you, it holds history. I'm gonna confess something to you that I'm not very proud of. At some point, I accidentally broke one of my mom's vase. It was ugly. She was mad. Way more mad than I would expect. I remember being so confused, but it was because it held history that I could not comprehend from a life before my own even began. And when she told me about it, I felt so bad. But I was like, bruh, but like, I thought that person was a piece of shit. It didn't matter. It wasn't about the person, it was about the memory. As you grow older, your experience of life goes faster. Your frame of reference grows larger. It's harder to remember everything, you know? But certain things can trigger memories. It's a symbol, proof that you lived a full life. And when we start to believe in that meaning, even just a little, it changes how we show up. There's this study I found where people were given a lucky golf ball, and they all performed better than the people who weren't. If people believed their little charm brought good luck, they were more confident, more persistent, and they just got better results. Like those placebo pills. It's not because the charm is magical, it's because belief is. Belief changes how we behave, and that in turn changes what happens. So no, Khaleesi isn't going to make me rich or give me eternal youth, even though I really wish it did. But believing it's something special, that it means something, it changes the vibe of the place a little. And that's the whole point. I didn't get the dragon plant to clean my air. No. I got it to purify me. Assuming it survives.